Today we are going to see parts of speech. In today's class we are going to see noun and types of nouns. Then we are going to learn about verb and types of verbs in detail. First we are going to see what is parts of speech. Words are divided according to their positions and usages in a sentence. This is called parts of speech. So what is parts of speech? Words are divided according to their positions and usages in a sentence. This is called parts of speech. Usually, parts of speech tell us how a word is used in a sentence. In other words, words are divided into different kinds or classes called parts of speech according to their use, that is, according to the work they do in a sentence. The parts of speech are 8 in number. So, there are 8 parts of speech in the English language: noun, verb, adjective, conjunction, preposition, interjection, pronoun, and adverb. Each part of speech has a specific use or function. In general, noun is a naming word which is the name of something. A pronoun replaces a noun. An adjective describes something. A verb is an action or state of being. An adverb normally describes a verb or sometimes gives more information about an adjective. Preposition shows a relationship or connection between things. A conjunction is a joining words. They connect two parts of a sentence. A interjection expresses strong feelings or emotions. Now, let's look at the 8 main parts of speech in English. A noun is a naming word. A noun is used to name a thing, a person, an animal, a place, or an idea. For example, we can name a thing: table, car, strawberry, mountain. These are all the names of things. We can name a person: Daniel, Diego, Angelica, Robert. We can name an animal: dog, cat, duck, elephant. We can name a place: London, Egypt, California, Paris. We can name an idea: happiness, hope, love, freedom. An adjective describes, modifies, or gives more information about a noun or pronoun. Examples: cold, happy, young. Example sentence: the little girl has a pink hat. In this sentence, there are 2 adjectives. How do we describe the girl? The little girl. Here, little is an adjective. How do we describe the hat? A pink hat. Here, pink is an adjective. We don't say the girl little. We say the little girl. Then, we don't say hat pink. We say pink hat. Examples: beautiful flower, clever boy, white chalk. Here, the words beautiful, clever, and white are used to qualify or add something to the nouns flower, boy, and chalk. A pronoun is used in place of a noun or noun phrase to avoid repetition. Examples: I, you, it, we, us, them, those. Example sentence: Mary is tired. She wants to sleep. For example, Mary studies in standard 10th. She is very clever. Here, she is the word used instead of the noun Mary, and it is a pronoun. A verb shows an action or a state of being. It can show what someone or something is doing. Examples: go, speaking, ate, lived, been, is. Example sentence: I study their charts and play their games. For example, he eats a mango. So here, eats is a verb. An adverb modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. It tells how often, where, when. Examples: slowly, very, always, well, to. Example sentences: I am speaking slowly. Yesterday, I ate my lunch quickly. Example sentences: the first sentence, he ran fast. Here, fast is an adverb. It modifies the verb ran. The next sentence, he drank very hot coffee. Here, very is an adverb. It modifies the adjective hot. The next sentence is, he worked quite hard. Here, quite is an adverb. It modifies the adverb hard. Preposition shows the relationship of a noun, noun phrase, or pronoun to another word. Examples: at, on, in, from, with, about. Example sentences: I left my keys on the table for you. My birthday is in January. For example, the cow is in the garden. Here, the preposition in shows the relation of the noun cow with the garden. A conjunction joins words, ideas, phrases or classes together and shows how they are connected. Examples: and, or, but, because, until, if. Example sentences: I was hot and tired, but I still finished it. I listened to music while I was running. Interjection is a word or phrase that expresses a strong feeling or emotion. It is a short exclamation. Examples: ouch, hey, wow. Example sentences: ouch, I just hit my thumb. Wow, I passed my English exam. Next, we are going to learn about types of nouns. The name of a person, place, or thing is called a noun, or the noun is a naming word. Examples: Milton, England, book, song, player, etc. There are several different types of nouns as follows: common noun, proper noun, concrete noun, abstract noun, collective nouns. First, let's see about common noun. A common noun is a noun that refers to people or things in general. Examples: boy, country, bridge, city, birth, day, happiness. Next, we are going to see proper noun. A proper noun is a name that identifies a particular person, place, or thing. Examples: Stephen, Africa, London, Monday. In written English, proper nouns begin with capital letters. Next, we are going to see concrete noun. A concrete noun is a noun which refers to people or to things that exist physically and can be seen, touched, smelled, heard or tasted. Examples include dog, building, coffee, tree, rain, beach. Next, let's see about abstract noun. An abstract noun is a noun which refers to ideas, qualities and conditions, things that cannot be seen or touched, and things which have no physical reality. Examples: truth, danger, happiness, time, friendship, humor. Next, let's see about collective nouns. A collective noun is the name of a number or collection of persons or things taken together and spoken of as one whole. Examples: crowd, team, army, family, jury, etc. Here, a crowd means a collection of people, an army means a collection of soldiers. Example sentences: the police dispersed the crowd. The French army was defeated at Waterloo. Another classification of nouns is whether they are countable or uncountable. Countable nouns are the names of objects, people, etc. that we can count. Examples: book, pen, apple, boy, sister, doctor, horse. Uncountable nouns are the names of things that we cannot count. Examples: milk, oil, sugar, gold, honesty. They mainly denote substances and abstract things. Students, note: countable nouns have plural forms while uncountable nouns do not. For example, we say books, but we cannot say milks. Next, we are going to learn about verb. A verb shows an action or a state of being. It can show what someone or something is doing. Examples: go, speaking, ate, lived, been, is. Example sentence: I study their charts and play their games. For example, he eats a mango. So here, eats is a verb. So, what is a verb? Verbs are action words like shout, jump, run and eat. They tell us what is happening in the sentence. They also sometimes tell us about a state of being. Verbs are one of the two main parts of a sentence along with nouns. You need a noun and a verb to make a complete sentence. So students, verbs are the most important component of any sentence. These words talk about the action or the state of any noun or subject. This means that verbs show what the subject is doing or what is the state or situation of the subject. For example, he ran to the store. Here, the verb ran describes the action of the subject, he. The next example sentence is, she is a creative person. Here, there is no action being done. Instead of, the auxiliary verb is shows the state of the subject, she, as being creative. Next, we are going to see types of verbs. There are different types and classifications of verbs. Some of the most important ones are listed below. The first one is action verbs. These verbs talk about what the subject is doing in the sentence. Action verbs are one of the most easily identifiable types of verbs. So, to recognize them, students, you simply have to look for the word in the sentence that answers the question, what is the subject doing? For example, Rose is painting the kitchen walls. The subject here is Rose. And what is Rose doing? Rose is painting. Hence, painting is our action verb. The next example sentence is, my dog is sleeping on the sofa. The subject here is dog. And what is the dog doing? The dog is sleeping. So, sleeping is our action verb. There are two types of action verbs which describe the verb and the subject doing the action and the object on which the action is done. They are transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. First, we are going to learn about transitive verbs. This verb is always followed by a noun that's receiving the action called the direct object. Example sentence, I patted my dog's head. Here, the verb is patted and the noun that's receiving this action is my dog's head, which is the direct object of the action verb. Sometimes an object can be indirect, such as when you are expressing to whom the action is being done. So, transitive verbs are verbs that express action with an object. For example, I threw the ball. Here, threw is a transitive verb. The ball is a noun. It is considered as object. The next example sentence is, we beat them. Here, beat is a transitive verb. Them is a pronoun. It is considered as object. In simple sense, what is a transitive verb? Action that have a direct object to receive that action. So, transitive verb means it is an action verb with the direct object. Let's see the example sentence. The man loves his children. Here, love is the action performed by the man, which is the subject in this case, and it has a receiver, which is children, as the man is the subject who is doing the action of love, and it has the direct object children, so it is the transitive verb. Let's look into some more sentence examples having transitive verb. The first example sentence is, the doctor cured him. Here, cured is the action and him is the direct object, so it is a transitive verb. Let's look into next example sentence. She crossed the street. Here, crossed is the action and street is the direct object, so it is the transitive verb. The next sentence is, Rohan kicked the ball. Here, kicked is the action performed by Rohan and ball is the direct object on which the action is performed, so it is a transitive verb. Next, we are going to learn about intransitive verbs. When an action verb has no direct object, it is called an intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs can be followed by an adverb or adverb phrase, but there will never be a direct object. Example sentences: Matthew runs quickly away. Here, the verb is runs and the phrase quickly away tells us more about the verb, but there is no object here to receive the action. So, intransitive verbs are verbs that express action without an object. For example, I ran. So, in simple words, what is an intransitive verb? Action that doesn't have a direct object to receive that action. So, intransitive verb means it is an action verb without the direct object. Let's look into the sentence example. Snow fell yesterday. Here, snow is the subject and fell is the action, but we cannot say the snow fell on whom. In other words, there is no direct object to receive the action, so it is a intransitive verb. Let's look into some more sentence examples having intransitive verbs. The first example sentence is, we failed. Here, failed is intransitive verb as there is no direct object linked with it. Let's look into next example sentence. She is sleeping. Here, sleeping is intransitive verb as there is no direct object linked with she. The next example sentence is, they work hard. Here also, work is intransitive verb as there is no direct object after the verb work. Next, we are going to see types of verbs as a whole. Verbs are divided into two types: lexical verb and auxiliary verb. Lexical verb is otherwise called as main verbs. Examples are work, study, read, etc. All these words can exist independently and provide complete meaning to the sentence. Next, we have auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb is further subdivided into two types: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries is further subdivided into three, like be verbs, do verbs, and have verbs. In past form, we have was, were. In present form, we have am, is, are. In do verbs, in past form, we have did. In present form, we have do, does. In have form of verb, in past form, we have had. In present form, we have as or have. Next, modal auxiliaries. In past form, we have could, would, might, ought to, had to. In present form, can, will, shall, may, must, as to, have to. Next, we are going to learn about two types of verbs. Verbs are mainly divided into two types. The first one is main verbs and the other one is auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. First, let's see about main verbs. Main verb is also called principal verb. It indicates the action of subject. It indicates the time, that is past, present and future. Words that actually shows the action or activity of subject. For example, Veera plays cricket. They can stand alone without the help of any other verbs. Here, they refers to main verbs. So, main verbs can stand alone without the help of any other verbs. Examples: read, sleep, eat, run. All these words can exist independently and provide complete meaning to the sentence. Next, we are going to learn about auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs is also called as helping verbs. It is used to indicate the tense of the main verb. It does not carry any meaning on its own. Auxiliary verbs or helping verbs help the main verb to describe action. That action happened in the past or is happening in the present or will happen in the future. For example, Guna is studying. Here, is a auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. They have no meaning on their own. They are necessary for the grammatical structure of a sentence, but they do not tell us very much alone. We usually use helping verbs with main verbs. They help the main verb which has the real meaning. There are two types of auxiliary verbs. The first one is primary auxiliaries and the second one is modal auxiliaries. In today's class, we are going to learn primary auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries. The auxiliaries be, have and do are called primary auxiliaries. So what are primary auxiliaries? Be verbs, have verbs and do verbs are called primary auxiliaries. The different forms of the auxiliary be are am, is, are, was, were, being and been. The different forms of the auxiliary have are as, had and having. The other forms of do are does and did. Next, we are going to see function of auxiliaries. The first function is auxiliary verbs are used to form tenses. Example, she is cooking. Here, the auxiliary is combines with the present participle cooking to form the present continuous tense. So what is mean by the present participle? The present participle is always formed by adding the suffix ing to a verb. The next example sentence is he had written the book. Here, the auxiliary had combines with the past participle written to form the past perfect tense. So what is mean by past participle? Past participle is often but not always formed by adding the suffix ed to a verb. The second function is auxiliaries are used in short answers to avoid repetition. Example sentences: can you sing and dance? No, I can't. Primary auxiliaries. The auxiliary be, in other words, be verbs am, is, are, was, were. Now let's see the functions of the auxiliary be. The first function is to form tenses, especially continuous tenses. Example sentences are she is dancing, we are reading, they were shouting. Here, is, are and were are be form of verbs. The next function is to convey instructions, decisions, plan, arrangement, agreement, etc. Example sentences are I am to go to England. My brother is to meet me at the airport. We are to be married next week. This sentence shows plan. So in these three sentences, am, is and are were be form of verbs. The second one is the auxiliary have. In other words, have verbs such as, had. Let's see the functions. The first function is to form present and past perfect tenses. Example sentences are we have seen the accident. She has gone to market. We had forgotten to take umbrellas. I had lost the money on my way home. In these 4 sentences, have, as, had, were, have verbs. The second function is to express compulsion or obligation. Example sentences: I had to go to Delhi. She has to face me today. They had to leave the house. In these sentences, had and has, were, have form of verbs. The third function is have plus had. Sometimes have as an auxiliary verb combines with had, the past participle of the finite verb have. Example sentences are: I have had my breakfast. She has had a wash. We have had enough sweets. Third one is the auxiliary do. In other words, do form of verbs such as does, did. Let's see the functions. The first function is to form the negative and interrogative of the simple present and simple past tenses of ordinary verbs. Let's see the example sentences. She doesn't dance. She didn't dance. Does she dance? Did she dance? The second function is to avoid repetition in short answers. Example sentences are: do you know my address? Yes, I do. Did they finish the job? Yes, they did. Does she read well? No, she doesn't. Third function is for emphasis. Here, emphasis means stress or importance. Example sentences are: I do like her. He did shout. We do love him. Fourth function is to form question tags. Example sentences are: he studies well. Doesn't he? We work hard, don't we? She stayed here, didn't she? Students, now we are going to learn noun and types of nouns through an activity. Shall we start? Yes. Students, now look at these pictures. Here we can see a bag, a baby and stars, right? These pictures are from which category? Yes, very good students. These pictures denote common nouns. Students, now we are going to frame a sentence for each picture. She bought a new bag. In this sentence, bag is a common noun. In this picture, what the baby is doing? Yes, the baby is crying. In this sentence, baby is a common noun. The stars look beautiful at night. In this sentence, stars refers to common noun. Students, next, look at these pictures. Here we can see a boy, basketball, goldfish, right? These pictures are from which type? Yes, these pictures denote proper nouns. Students, now we are going to frame a sentence for each picture. Joy is playing in the garden. In this sentence, joy is a proper noun. So in this picture we can see basketball, right? Now let's frame a sentence. Basketball is a fun and exciting game. In this sentence, basketball is a proper noun. Here we can see goldfish, right? Now let's frame a sentence. His father bought her a goldfish. In this sentence, goldfish is a proper noun. Students, now look at these pictures. Here we can see computer, baby and flowers, right? These pictures are from which category? Yes, very good students. These pictures denote concrete nouns. Students, now we are going to frame a sentence for each picture. Here we can see computer, right? Now let's frame a sentence. I need your computer. In this sentence, computer is a concrete noun. Students, next look at this picture. Here we can see a baby, right? Now let's frame a sentence. The baby is smiling. In this sentence, baby is a concrete noun. In this picture, we can see flowers, right? Now let's frame a sentence. He sent her flowers for Mother's Day. In this sentence, flowers denote concrete noun. Students, now look at these pictures. Here we can see wealth, talent and happiness, right? These pictures are from which category? Yes, very good students. These pictures denote abstract nouns. Students, now we are going to frame a sentence for each picture. Students, now look at the first picture. This picture denotes wealth, right? Now let's frame a sentence. They have great wealth. In this sentence, wealth refers to abstract noun. This picture showcases talent, right? Now let's frame a sentence. The show is a celebration of new young talent. In this sentence, talent denotes abstract noun. This picture denotes happiness. Now let's frame a sentence. Friendship and happiness cannot be separated. In this sentence, happiness refers to abstract noun. Students, now look at these pictures. Here we can see crowd, set, fleet, right? These pictures are from which category? Yes, good students. These pictures denote collective nouns. So crowd means many people. Set means more than one tool. Fleet means many ships. Students, now we are going to frame a sentence for each picture. Students, now look at this picture. Here we can see a huge crowd, right? Now let's frame a sentence. A huge crowd has gathered in the stadium. In this sentence, crowd refers to collective noun. Students, in this picture, set refers to more than one tool. Now, let's frame a sentence. Please give me a set of tools. Here, set refers to collective noun. Students, look at the last picture. Now, let's frame a sentence. There is a fleet of ships in the sea. In this sentence, fleet denotes collective noun. I have enclosed the classwork instructions in the PDF. Kindly refer it. So now, we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.